started lying down in Shavasana. So go ahead and find your shape that feels good for you this evening. So take a couple moments, see what that looks like for you. Maybe you kind of play around with bending or straightening the knees. Hands can come to the stomach or the sides of the body. Just sort of take any little movements you need until you find that position that feels really comfortable for you. Once you find that shape that feels good, go ahead and close your eyes. And just start to turn inward. So letting go of whatever it was you were doing before you came to your mat, right up until 2 minutes ago, let all of that go. Whatever it is you're doing after here, let that go. So for the next hour, just let yourself be fully here on your mat. And one of the ways you can do that is to start to notice with all 5 senses everything that's going on right now. So what are you feeling? You're feeling that breath as it comes in through the lungs, filling the chest, filling the stomach. Feel that breath as it leaves the body. What are you hearing? It's going to be different for everyone. Maybe there's sounds in your house, maybe there's music, maybe it's nothing but my voice. But just start to notice what you're hearing. Start to notice maybe smells, maybe a diffuser going or someone's cooking dinner. Just start to really tune into now. And as you do that, everything else sort of dissolves away, everything becomes a little more distant, and you can start to be fully here. So as you take these last few moments here in the stillness, in the peaceful Shavasana, start to think of an intention for your practice. So something that you want to focus on throughout this class, maybe throughout the rest of the week, something that you're going to use to keep you grounded here, whether it's patience, peace, forgiveness, healing, something that resonates with you. Let that be your intention this evening. Once you have that intention set, let's all start to find a full body stretch. So go ahead and reach your arms over your head. Take a deep breath in as you exhale, let it go. Start to roll out the ankles, roll out the wrists, wiggle the fingers, wiggle the toes, moving in any way that feels good for you. And then on the next inhale, we're going to draw the right knee in towards the body. Interlace your hands around your shin, and you can make circles with that right knee, move it left and right, whatever feels good, just starting to kind of invite a little movement into that hip. And then let's find a twist by bringing that right leg across the body over to the left side. The right shoulder presses down towards the mat. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, soften through the back of the body. And on the next inhale, coming back through center, let's bend the left leg, extend the right leg up towards the ceiling, and then start to raise and lower that right leg. So as you inhale, the right leg lifts up. As you exhale, draw the leg back down. So we're stretching through the back of that leg, starting to breathe with the breath, maybe pointing and flexing the foot as you move it. The next time you lift the leg, bring your hands behind the leg. Start to draw the leg towards the body. And then taking that right foot, bring it to the left knee. Lift that left leg up off the mat, interlacing your hands, finding a supine pigeon. So drawing the left knee towards the body. You can rock side to side if that feels good. You can bend and straighten that left leg. Or you can just stay still. So see what feels good for you and do that. And then we're going to slowly take that right foot, place it back down on the mat, continue to draw the left leg in towards you, almost like you're hugging the left knee towards the shoulder. And then you can go ahead and make those circles, rock side to side, just moving that hip in whatever way feels good for you. And then start to find the twist. Left leg comes across the body, left shoulder presses down. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, settle into that twist. So you're softening through the back of the body. Maybe the left ear comes towards the mat, deepening the twist a little bit further. And then slowly coming back through center. That left leg is going to extend up towards the sky. You can bend the right knee as you start to raise and lower the left leg. Inhale, lifts the leg up. Exhale, draws it back down. Go ahead and move here at a pace that feels good for you. So it could be really, really slow. Maybe it's really fast. Whatever feels good. And then the next time you lift the leg again, bring the hands behind the leg. Start to draw that leg towards you. You can kind of massage the back of the leg a little bit. And then go ahead and take that left foot to the right knee. Lift the right leg up off the mat as you interlace the hands behind the leg. Supine pigeon. Same options as the other side. A little side to side movement. Bend and straighten the leg. Or just stay still, focusing on really getting into that hip. And then we're going to release the left leg, draw both knees in towards you. Tuck your chin into your chest as you take a couple rocks forwards and backwards along the spine. And then eventually rocking your way all the way up to a seated position. So once you come up to your seat, crossing your legs, find a comfortable spot, maybe sliding a blanket or a block under your hips if that feels better. Bring your hands to your knees. Take a deep breath in as you lengthen. As you exhale, allow the chin to release forward. And then just slowly starting to roll your head all the way around. So taking full circles, if that feels good. Side to side, if that feels better. Maybe pausing. Relaxing the shoulders. Going back in the other direction if you haven't already. And then slowly making your way back through center, lifting the crown of the head up towards the sky. Take a breath in as you lift the shoulders up. As you exhale, roll them down the back. And we'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift the shoulders up. Exhale, release them back. 1 more time. Take a deep breath in, hold it. Exhale, let it go. Good. Let's take another breath in, reach the arms overhead. As you exhale, left fingertips come to the mat, or right fingertips reach to the side wall, so stretching through the whole right side of the body, looking under the arm towards the ceiling. And then take another breath in, get a little longer as you lift up. As you exhale, take it over to the other side. So the right hand comes down, the left fingertips reach, press down through the left hip, roll the left shoulder back. And again, inhale, take it back up through center. This time as you exhale, start to walk the hands away from the body as far as it feels comfortable for you. So you kind of rock the hips out from side to side a little bit. Take a deep breath as you lengthen through the back of the body. As you exhale, settle in, let the head become heavy. That head sort of hangs down towards the ground. And just breathing into the space in the back of the body, softening through the shoulders, softening through the back, and using that breath to bring you a little further into the pose. And then slowly starting to walk the hands back towards the body. Let's find our way into a tabletop position. So coming onto the knees, extending the arms along the wrists, under the shoulders. Start to move through a couple of rounds of your cat and cow. So finding a flat back first, and then as you inhale, the stomach releases down, the gaze goes up. As you exhale around the back, press the ground away from you. And then just go ahead and move here with the breath, adding on any additional movement that feels good. So if you like to rock the hips from side to side, you can do that. If you like to make little circles or shake the head, just start to connect that breath to the movement. Each time you breathe, you move. And then finishing the round that you're on, starting to come back through that neutral spine, we're going to tuck our toes. You're going to lift your knees a couple inches off the mat. So you're still in your tabletop position, but the knees are lifted. And we're going to take the right hand to the left shoulder. And then you're going to bring it down, bring the left hand to the right shoulder. We're going to do that 10 times, so 5 on each side. So you can go ahead and count for yourself. The idea is that you are keeping everything as still as possible. So the core is stabilizing you. Everything else is staying really still. I'm rocking side to side a little bit, you probably will too, but the idea is that you're staying as still as you can, just moving those arms. Once you've done those 5 on each side, find your child's pose. The knees come down, hips come to heels. Settle in here, taking about 5 breaths. So letting that go, that was a nice little early core stretch or core exercise to get all the muscles kind of warmed up a little bit. Hands can continue to reach towards the top of the mat if that feels comfortable. You can also stack your hands on top of each other with your forehead on the back of your hands, or the hands can come to the sides of the body. See what feels best for you. And take about 3 more breaths. Slowly starting to walk the hands to the top of the mat if they're not there already. Tuck the toes straight in the legs. Find your first downward facing dog and just move here as much as you like. So lifting up one heel at a time, pressing it back down, bending and straightening the knees, rocking the hips, all those little movements that help you start to settle in here. Go ahead and do what feels good for you. Maybe shaking the head, yes or no. On the next inhale, let's roll it forward into a plank position, drawing the shoulders over the wrist, tuck the tailbone. We're gonna hold here for 3 breaths. So that spine is nice and straight, tucking your tailbone, lengthen, draw the core up towards the spine. Exhale, send it back to your downward facing dog. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, flow it forward like a wave. Hold it for 3, 2. On 1, exhale, send it back. 1 more time just for a breath. Inhale, roll it forward. Exhale, send it back. Take your gaze towards your hands. Start to walk your feet to the top of the mat. Take a halfway lift for space. As you exhale, take any forward fold that feels good for you. So maybe holding on to opposite elbows, rocking side to side. You can bring your hands behind the head and sort of draw the head down. Hands behind the legs. So see what feels good for you. Move if that feels good, or stay still. You can have a bend in the knees. And then slowly releasing whatever variation you have with your arms. Put a little bend in the knees as you inhale. Start to lift it all the way up. Reach the arms overhead. Maybe a little back bend if that feels good. Interlace your hands, keeping the pointer fingers pointing up towards the sky. Take a breath in, and then as you exhale, over to the left side. So stretching through the whole right side of the body, pressing the right hips in one direction, and then reaching the arms in the opposite direction. Roll that right shoulder open as you look under the arm. On the next inhale, take it back up through center. Exhale, over to the other side. Rolling that left shoulder open and back. Take the gaze under the left arm. And then again, inhale back up through center. Exhale, dive it down. Inhale to prepare. As you exhale, step it back to your plank position. And then go ahead and move through your flow. So either knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale to up dog. Exhale, send it back to your downward facing dog. We're going to take 3 breaths here. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Take your gaze to the top of the mat. Jump or step your feet forward. Take a halfway lift for space. As you exhale, fold. On the next inhale, lift it all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Maybe a little back bend. As you exhale, dive it right back down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, jump, step, or float to the back of your mat. Go ahead and move through your flow. So knees, chest, chin, chaturanga. Inhale, lifts it up. Exhale, back to your downward facing dog for those 3 breaths. You can decide that flow pace tonight. So whether you feel like going fast or slow, that's okay. Take your 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Take your gaze to the top of the mat. Jump, step, float it forward. Halfway lift for space. As you exhale, fold. On the next inhale, lift it all the way up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, dives it right back down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, jump, step, float it back, moving through that flow. On the inhale, lift it up. Exhale, send it back. So always meeting back in that down dog. Maybe you're going a little faster, a little slower than my cues, that's okay. We'll all come back to this down dog together for one more breath. Take the gaze forward, jump, step, or float the feet to the top of the mat. Take a halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lifts it all the way up. Exhale, one more time. Let's dive it back down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, jump, step, float it back. Move through that flow. Inhale it up. Exhale back. Now from your down dog, let's find a three-legged dog. Lift that right leg up, point the toes towards the back of the room. As you inhale, draw the right knee to the nose. As you exhale, send it back. Let's do that again. Inhale, knee to nose. Exhale, send it back. One last time. Inhale, bring that knee forward. Step the foot in between the hands. Find your warrior one. So ground down through the back foot. As you inhale, lift it all the way up. Relax the shoulders. Start to settle in here. So we're going to hold this for 5 breaths. So take your time to really kind of check your alignment. You're pressing down through that back outer edge of the left foot. Both hips are pressing forward. So kind of shift so that left hip is forward a little more. Relax the shoulders. Take the gaze up. I'll call that 3 breaths. So 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. See if you can take the hands down. Sorry. Spin to the ball of the left foot. Step that right foot back to meet the left. Lower it down through your chaturanga. Inhale it up. Exhale back to your downward facing dog. On the next breath, that left leg lifts. Draw the knee towards the nose, almost like you're giving that knee a kiss. Exhale, send it back. Inhale, knee to nose. Exhale, send it back. One last time. Inhale, knee to nose. Step the left foot forward, ground down through that back leg, and as you inhale, lift it all the way up. Again, starting to settle in here, so starting with the feet ground down through that back foot. Press that right hip forward, relax the shoulders for 4 more breaths. See if you can bend a little further into that left knee for 3 more breaths. Lengthen through the spine for 2. And on 1, go ahead and bring your hands to frame out the front foot. Step the left foot back to meet the right as you move through that flow. Inhale, lifts it up. Exhale, sends it back. Good. On the next inhale, let's lift the right leg again. Look forward. Find that warrior one again. So step that right foot forward. Ground down. Just for a breath this time, we're going to inhale and lift it up. On the exhale, left hand is coming down. Right hand is reaching up towards the sky. Easy twist. You can spin to the ball of that back foot. So you take your gaze up towards that right hand. Rolling open through the right shoulder. Good. Right hand's going to come down to the mat. Left knee comes down. Untuck the toes for Anjaneyasana. Arms start to reach up towards the sky. Relax the shoulders. Take the gaze up towards the hands. So we're pressing down through the hips. If lifting your hands doesn't feel great, they can also stay on the knees. Really focusing on opening up to the front of the body. As you exhale, hands are going to come to frame out the front foot. Straighten through that back, or the front leg, sorry. Send the hips back, fold over that right leg for a half split. So you can flex through the right foot, start to fold over that leg. And then re-bending that right foot, tuck the back toes. We're going to step it up to a chair so the left foot comes up to meet the right. Start to lift up through the upper body, relax through the hips, lengthen through the spine, relax the shoulders. Weight is in the heels so you can wiggle your fingers or your toes. Wiggle your fingers too. For 2 more breaths, see if you can sit it down a little further. On the next inhale, go ahead and lift it all the way up. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, dive it back down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, jump, step, float it back. Go ahead and move through your flow. If you start feeling like you're over the flows, you can always just meet us back in downward facing dog. So your choice. On the next breath, that left leg is going to lift, 3-legged dog. Look forward, find your warrior one. Left foot steps forward, arms lift up, just for a breath. As you exhale, that right hand comes down, left arm reaches up. Take the gaze up towards that left hand. Imagine that string at the center of the chest, pulling the chest up a little bit further. And then go ahead and bring that right knee down, untuck the toes, Anjaneyasana as you sink the hips down, lengthen through the spine and the front of the body. Slowly bringing your hands to frame out the front foot. Exhale as you straighten that left leg, folding. Hips press back, flex through the left toes. And then rebending that left leg, tuck the back toes, step the right foot up to meet the left. One more chair pose. Relax the shoulders, settle in, lengthen through the back of the body. Good. For 3 more breaths. Inhale, lift it all the way up, lengthen, stretch it out. Exhale, dive it back down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, jump, step, float it back. Meet me in your down dog. On the next inhale, let's lift the right leg, bend the knee, open up the hip this time. So draw the heel towards the body. The knee is the highest part, so you're really getting a nice stretch in the front of that right thigh. Look forward, step the right foot in between your hands, coming into a warrior 2. Switch sides. So relaxing the shoulders here as you start to settle into your warrior 2. Gazes over those front right fingers. And then go ahead and reach your right hand forward, flip the palm, find your peaceful warrior. So you're bending into that front knee still, reaching the right fingertips towards the back of the room. See if you can come a little deeper on that right leg. And then on the next breath, find your extended side angle. So that right elbow can come to the right knee, or it can come all the way down to the mat. Left fingertips reach towards the front of the room. So the right hand is on the mat, not the right elbow. That would be really deep. Continue to roll that left shoulder open as you look up towards the sky, lengthening through the whole left side of the body. On the next inhale, lift it back up to your warrior 2. As you exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame out the front foot. Step the right foot back to meet the left as you lower it down. Inhale, lifts it up. Exhale, sends it back. And then on the next breath, left leg lifts, bend the knee, open up the hip. So heels coming towards the body, that knee is pressing up towards the sky. Take the gaze forward, left foot steps in between the hands, warrior 2 on the opposite side. So setting yourself up here, that knee is facing the top of your mat, the hips are facing the side of the mat. So creating that little opening in that left leg. Relax the shoulders, reach the left fingertips forward as you flip the palm. Peaceful warrior, right hand slides down the back leg. Left fingertips reach towards the back of your mat as you continue to bend into that right knee. And then making your way into your extended side angle, left elbow to the left knee, or left hand all the way down to the mat. Right fingertips reach forward, almost like you're bringing that right shoulder towards your ear. So think straight line from your right fingertips to your right toes. On the next inhale, lift it back up to your warrior 2. As you exhale, cartwheel the hands down. Step that left foot back to meet the right. Move through your flow. Once you get back to your downward facing dog, take a child's pose. Come down to your knees. So your toes are together, your knees might be a little bit apart, your hips are on your heels. Find a child's pose that feels good for you. You can grab a sip of water. You can grab a towel if you're doing this next to a space heater to make it hot. Take about 5 breaths here. Coming back to that intention that you set. Letting that breath slow a little bit. Letting the shoulders relax. Slowly starting to walk the hands back towards the top of the mat if they're not there already. Let's tuck our toes, straighten our legs, find that downward facing dog. Let's all take a floater reset. So as you inhale, roll it out to your plank. Exhale, lower it down. Inhale, lifts it back up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. On the next inhale, right leg lifts, three-legged dog. Look forward, step the right foot in between your hands for a low lunge. So you're staying on that back heel, and then we're gonna lift it up to a high lunge. So finding your balance here as you start to lift through that upper body, continuing to bend into that right knee. So we're gonna do a little balance here. If you're wobbling, that's okay, I'm going to wobble too. So we're gonna take a breath, and that left knee is gonna draw in towards the chest. So you can bring your hands to heart center as you draw that left knee in towards the chest. As you exhale, send that leg back. We're gonna do that 2 more times. So when you're ready, go ahead, inhale, draw that left knee forward. Exhale as you send it back. 1 more time with control, inhale, draw it forward. Exhale, send it back. Awesome. This time, go ahead and bring your hands to frame out the right foot, finding your supported warrior 3. So the weight is gonna start to come into the right foot, lifting that left foot off the mat. You can flex through the heel of the left foot, so kind of like you're trying to step on the back wall. If you want to keep it supported, your hands can stay down. Otherwise, start to play around with bringing one hand to heart center, then the other. Top of the head is reaching forward, heel is pressing back. Feel that length all through the back of the body. And then go ahead and bring your hands to frame out the front foot. Find your half split, or your standing split, sorry. So the left foot is going to reach up towards the sky, folding over that right leg. Almost like thinking forward fold on the right leg. That left foot is reaching up. And then go ahead and find your forward fold. Left foot meets the right. Take a breath for space as you exhale, fold. On the next inhale, lift it all the way up. Reach the arms overhead, little back bend if that still feels good. Exhale, dives it right back down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, jump, step, float it back. Plank position, lower it down. Inhale up. Exhale, back to your downward facing dog. On the next inhale, left leg lifts, point the toes towards the back of the room. Look forward, step to your low lunge. So set yourself up here, and then we're lifting up to that high lunge. So when you're ready with control, start to reach the arms overhead, continuing to keep that nice deep bend in the left knee. And then when you're ready, start to draw the right knee in towards the body, lift through the core. As you exhale, step it back to your high lunge. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, hands to heart center, knee comes up. Exhale, high lunge. 1 more time with control. Inhale, lift it up. Exhale, step it back. Nice. Go ahead and bring your hands to frame out the front foot. Weight comes into the left foot as you find your supported warrior 3 first. Flex through that back heel, press the right foot back. And then if and when you're ready, hands can start to come to heart center, finding that warrior 3. So flexing through the back leg. Try to draw that right hip down a little bit more so that the hips are in line. And then start to make your way into your standing split, folding over that left leg. The right foot starts to reach up towards the ceiling. Maybe you bring one hand to the left leg or both hands to the left leg. And then find your forward fold. Right foot comes down. Take a breath for space. Exhale, let it go. On the next inhale, lift it all the way up. Exhale, Tadasana, hands to the sides of the body. All right, we're gonna find a stance with your feet about mats with distance apart, so a little wider than your hips. Take a breath in as you lift the arms up. As you exhale, start to fold it forward. We're gonna take our peace fingers, wrap them around your big toes. Take a breath in for space. As you exhale, start to draw the top of your head down, using that grip on the toes. So you're kind of using that connection to bring yourself a little deeper into the pose. The knees can be bent if that feels good. I like to bend my knees here. You can rock your hips from side to side. Elbows are bending towards the back of the mat, or the back of the room. And then we're gonna release that grip of the toes. Find your Padahastasana, your gorilla pose. So the whole hand is gonna start to slide under the foot, or as much of the hand as feels comfortable. Your toes are coming right to your wrist creases. Again, knees can be really bent. This time elbows are bending out towards the sides. Again, start to draw the top of the head down, using that connection, that restriction to kind of lengthen through the back of the body. And then go ahead and release your hands. You can kind of shake them out a little bit. We're going to bring our left fingertips in front of our left toes. Put a little bend in your left knee, and as you inhale, the right arm is going to peel up towards the sky. So take the gaze towards that right hand. I'm going to walk you through a couple steps. You're going to stay where it feels good for you. So this is the first option, working on this twist, rolling that right shoulder back. If you want to come into a bind, the right hand is going to come to the left hip. So crossing behind the body, continue to roll that right shoulder open, continue to look up towards the sky. If you want to take a full bind, the left hand is going to come under that left leg. See if you can interlace your hands on the outside of the left hip. Last option here would be if you want to play around with your birds of paradise. I have no idea who's on the other end of this computer, so if you're playing around with that, your right foot is your standing leg. You're going to slowly start to lift up through the left leg. Don't look at me because this is about as far as I'm going. Maybe that left leg eventually extends. So go ahead and play around with that for a moment if you want. If you are in one of the other positions, take 2 more breaths there. And then we're all going to start to unravel. So the left hand comes back down, the right hand reaches back up. And then slowly the right hand comes in front of the right toes. As you inhale, peel the left arm up and we'll take it over to the other side. So you know your options now. If you're working on this twist, you're going to stay right here and press that left shoulder back. If you want a half bind, the left hand is coming to the right shoulder behind the body. Maybe that full bind, right hand comes under the leg. See if you can interlace the hands on the outside of that right hip. And then last but not least, if you're playing around with birds of paradise, the left foot comes right under the body. You kind of come onto the toes of the right foot, and then slowly, with control, you lift it up. No one's around. Give it a try. See how it feels. My leg doesn't really straighten. That's where I'm at. When you're ready to come back out of it, right hand comes back down, left arm peels up. Left hand comes back down to the mat. You can kind of shake your hips out from side to side a little bit. And then take a breath and we'll lift it all the way back up. That was a lot of forward folding, so shake it out, take a deep breath, let it go. Good. Let's ground down into Tadasana actually. So while we're standing, go ahead and close your eyes and start to settle in here, maybe rocking forwards and backwards on the feet a little bit until you feel that nice firm foundation with the feet. Start to lengthen through the legs, feeling the legs tall and long and sturdy. Gently tucking the tailbone under the body, relaxing the shoulders down and back as the arms rest softly at the sides. The spine is long and lengthened. So you're really strong and sturdy like a mountain, but you might be swaying a little bit too. Flexible. Being flexible is good. Your chin is parallel to the ground, so maybe you lift your head up a little bit, reaching the crown of the head towards the sky, coming back to that intention that you set. So I'll take a nice deep cleansing breath in through the nose, and as you exhale it out the mouth, let it go. Let's do that one more time. Inhale in through the nose. As you exhale, make it audible. Good. Slowly opening the eyes. If you're not at the top of your mat already, go ahead and make your way back to the top of the mat. Take a breath in as you reach your arms up. As you exhale, dive it back down. Inhale to prepare. Exhale, jump or step it back to your plank. Lower it down through chaturanga. Inhale, lifts it up. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. On the next inhale, right leg lifts, point the toes towards the back of the room, and then look forward. Step that right foot in between your hands, warrior two. Ground down through the back leg, and then start to cartwheel the arms up. Relax the shoulders. Take the gaze over that front middle finger. Good. And then we're going to cartwheel the hands back down, frame out the front foot, spin to the ball of the back foot. Anjaneyasana, left knee comes down, take a breath in, reach the arms up. See if you can come a little deeper than the first time you were here. So you're pressing the hips down, reaching the arms up, relaxing the shoulders. Take a deep breath in, smile as you gaze up. And then slowly bringing your hands to frame out the front foot, tuck the back toes, straighten the back leg. Start to walk your hands over to the left side, coming to a prasarita, wide-legged fold. Your toes are in, your heels are out. Take any movement that feels good here, so you can kind of rock from side to side. You can bend and straighten your legs. Maybe walk both hands to one leg. Maybe just stay still. So you see what feels good for you. Play around in this wide-legged fold. And then we're all going to start to walk our hands to frame out the right foot. Spin to the ball of the back foot. So come to a low lunge at the top of your mat. Left hand is going to ground down. We're coming into a left side plank. So the right foot steps back to meet the left. The right fingertips reach up towards the ceiling. Options here to either bring that bottom knee down to modify, or lift the top leg up for an extra challenge, or stay right there in the middle. Either way, we're going to hold for 3 more breaths. Pressing those hips up for 2. Really strong through the back of the body for 1. Find your plank position, lower it down through chaturanga. Inhale, lifts it up. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. On the next breath, the left leg lifts. Look forward, step that left foot in between your hands. Warrior 2 on the opposite side. Relax through the shoulders. See if you can come a little deeper into that left leg. Take a breath. As you exhale, cartwheel the hands down to frame out the front foot. Right knee comes down. Inhale, back up to your Anjaneyasana. So the hips are sinking down. Press that right thigh towards the mat. See if you can get a little deeper bend through the back of the body. And then slowly bringing your hands to frame out the front foot. Tuck the back toe. Walk your hands over to the right side. 1 more prasarita. Maybe you find the same version of a forward fold that you did on the other side. Maybe you want something different. You can come into a tripod headstand. You could play around with skindasana if that feels good, rocking from side to side. Maybe just walking the hands really far away from you, lengthening through the back of the body. Or walking the hands behind you, drawing the top of the head down towards the mat. If you're in your tripod headstand, start to pike yourself down the same way you came into it. And then we'll all start to walk our hands over to that left foot, coming back to your low lunge at the top of the mat. Right hand grounds down, right foot grounds down, left foot steps back to meet the right for that side plank. Left fingertips lift up, pressing the hips up towards the sky. Same options as the other side. You can lift that top leg, you can lower the bottom leg, or stay right there in the middle. For 3 more breaths. 2 more breaths. Left hand comes down to meet the right. Chaturanga lowers you down. Inhale, lifts it up. Exhale, back to your downward facing dog. Good. On the next inhale, let's lift the right leg again. Bend the knee 1 more time. If you want, you can go ahead and flip your dog, bringing that right foot down behind you, reaching the right fingertips towards the front of the mat for a wild thing. Coming back to your 3-legged dog, right leg lifts up. And then go ahead and draw that right knee behind the right wrist, settling into your pigeon here. So left toes come down. You can start to rock the hips from side to side, really finding that even weight on both hips. Take a breath as you lengthen through the upper body. As you exhale, start to fold forward, flexing through that right foot as you start to lower the upper body down. Finding something to rest your head on. That could be stacking your fists, Could be a pillow, a block, whatever you have. Maybe it's the mat. But seeing if you can stay with your breath here. So acknowledging how you're feeling right in this pose, acknowledging what emotions come up, what thoughts come up, without judgment. But if it's something that's not serving you, see if you can let it go. And in doing so, see if you can come just a little further into the pose. We're going to hold for about 3 more breaths. If there's another variation that you'd like to come into, you can make your way into it now. And then slowly starting to walk the hands back towards the body as you press the upper body up. Tuck the left toes, step that right foot back to meet the left. As you inhale, roll it forward into your plank position. Lower yourself down. Inhale, lifts it up. Exhale, back to your downward facing dog. Let's lift that left leg, bend the knee, open up the hip. If you did so on the other side, you can flip that dog. Left foot comes down, left fingertips reach towards the front of the mat. And coming back to your 3-legged dog. And then starting to make your way into your pigeon. Left knee comes behind the left wrist. Rock it out so that the weight is even on both hips. Maybe you slide a blanket or a pillow under that left hip to sort of take some of the pressure off the left side of the body, and then slowly settling in here. Relaxing through the shoulders. Relaxing through the hip. Relaxing through the jaw. We're going to take 3 more breaths here. So if there's another version of this pose that you'd like to come into, go ahead and find your way there now. Otherwise, get a couple more breaths here. And then when you're ready, slowly starting to walk the hands back towards the body. Tuck the back toes, step the left foot back to meet the right. One final flow if you like it, if you still feel like you need it. Otherwise, meet me in a seated position. So we're going to lower ourselves down onto the mat, extend your feet long in front of you, flex through the feet. You can kind of rock it out from side to side a little bit, sitting up nice and tall. And then we're going to bring the left foot into the right inner thigh, flexing through the right toes. Take a breath as you lift it up. As you exhale, fold forward. Janu Shirshasana. So that right foot is really flexed. Your hands can come to the shin, to the mat, to the foot, wherever it feels good for you. Allowing the body to start to kind of fold on top of itself. Let's take a breath and lengthen through the back of the body, so lifting up halfway. As you exhale, fold. And then on the next inhale, starting to lift it all the way up. Let's take the left foot, bring it to the outside of the right knee. You can bend that right knee if you like, or just keep it straight. Left hand comes to the side of the body. Take a breath in as you reach the right fingertips up. As you exhale, twist to the left, hooking the elbow on the knee. Take a breath in and sit up a little taller. As you exhale, twist a little further. And then slowly coming back through center. Twist in the opposite direction, just to kind of unravel it all. And then again, come back through center, extend both legs long, shake it out a little bit, and we'll bring the right foot into the left inner thigh. Flex through the left toes. Take a breath as you lift it up. Exhale as you fold it forward. Flexing through that left leg. Let's take that halfway lift as you lengthen through the back of the body. Exhale, fold a little deeper. And then Next inhale, slowly lifting it all the way up. Right foot comes to the outside of the left knee. If you bend the left or the right leg on the other side, go ahead and bend this knee. Right hand comes to the side of the body. Take a breath in as you lift the left fingertips up. As you exhale, twist to the right, hook the elbow on the outside of the knee. Relaxing through the shoulders. And imagine that twist starting at the base of the spine all the way up. Each time you breathe in, see if you can sit up a little taller. Each time you breathe out, twist just a little further. And then slowly taking it back through center over to the other side. Unravel that twist. And again, come back through center. Extend the legs long, shake them out a little bit. You can scoot yourself up so that your feet are at the top of the mat if they're not there already. Extend your arms long in front of you. And then using your core, so one last little core exercise, one vertebrae at a time. We're going to lower ourselves down. Take it as slow as you like. Once you get down, find a full body stretch by reaching the arms overhead. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, let it all go on the mat. You can bring your hands to the sides of the body if they're not there already. Bend your knees, bringing the feet to the base of the spine. As you inhale, we're going to start to press the hips up towards the ceiling. Roll the shoulders under the body a little bit so you can kind of create a little more height. Coming into your bridge pose, your hands can stay pressing down into the mat, or you can interlace them under the tailbone. Really engaging through the thighs, the knees are active. We're going to offer 3 back bends tonight. So if you want one long one, stay right where you are. Otherwise, slowly start to lower yourself down one vertebrae at a time. Once the tailbone touches, you can let your knees rock from side to side a little bit. Then we're going to make our way into our second back bend. So if you want to do what we just did, you can. If you want to use a block for a supported bridge, that's an option. Or full wheel, bringing the hands to the sides of the head. So go ahead and decide what you want this evening. Take a breath and start to make your way up into your second back bend. So if you've got that bridge, you're continuing to press the hips up, interlacing the hands. If you're on the block, completely letting go and surrendering into that pose, allowing the block to support the body. And if you're in your full wheel, continue to press the hips up. And then slowly, one vertebrae at a time, go ahead and lower the spine back down onto the mat. Let the knees release from side to side. Your third and final one is on your own. So when you're ready, you'll go ahead and make your way up into your final back bend. Same options. You can take another wheel. You can do what we just did in our bridge. If you're in your supported bridge, stay where you are. So when you're ready, go ahead and make your way into your third back bend. And you're going to count about 5 to 7 of your own breaths. So go ahead and count those breaths. Taking as much time as you need here. When you're ready to come down, you're going to slowly lower yourself down and make your way into a happy baby. So the knees will bend, the hands come to the bottoms of the feet. Almost like you're trying to bring your knees to the ground on either side of you. Your feet are pressing up towards the ceiling and then moving in any way that feels good here. So if you like to rock side to side, bend and straighten the knees. Do what feels good here for the back of the body. Noticing that connection with the spine on the mat, from the tailbone up to right between the shoulder blades. Your whole spine is pressing down. If this feels good for your inversion, you can stay right here for a couple more breaths. Otherwise, finding an inversion of your choice this evening. If that means sliding over to a wall, extending your legs up that wall, you can do that. If you want to do a legs up the wall without the wall, bring your hands or a block under the tailbone. Continue to reach your feet up towards the ceiling as if there was a wall there. Maybe you want to come into a shoulder stand from here by lifting the hips up, walking the hands down the back of the body. Or maybe you have another inversion, headstands, handstands, you name it, whatever you need this evening. Take about 5 to 10 breaths to play around in your inversion of your choice. 3 more breaths. When you're ready to come out of it, you're going to find a counter pose of your choice. If you are on your hands or your head, come into a child's pose. If you are on your backs or a shoulder stand, we're going to take a fish pose. So if you're taking your fish pose, you're going to bend the elbows, lift the upper body, kind of press the chest up, let the head release back if that feels comfortable. And then slowly lowering yourself back down onto your mat, making your way onto your back if you weren't already. Draw the knees in towards you. Give yourself a little hug as you kind of wrap your arms around your shins. You can rock side to side, maybe lifting the head up off the mat so you draw your forehead towards your knees, making a really tiny ball. And then slowly bringing the head back down onto the mat. Let the arms extend to either side of you. Let the knees release to the right side, finding a twist. So the shoulders are becoming heavy as that left shoulder presses down towards the mat. Your left ear can come towards the mat so that you're looking in the opposite direction of your knees. And just let this pose be really casual, really comfortable. So wherever the legs want to land, wherever the head wants to go, let them do that. As you start to allow your breath to return to its normal rhythm, no longer paying attention to your inhales and your exhales, but just kind of letting that breath flow freely. And slowly starting to draw the knees back through center, taking it over to the opposite side. The knees come to the left, the gaze can come to the right or up towards the ceiling. Wherever you're looking, start to let your vision sort of become a little blurry, or maybe even closing your eyes at this point. You're not really focusing on anything. And then again, slowly drawing the knees back through center, finding a Supta Baddha Konasana. The soles of the feet come together, the knees release out to either side on the mat. Your hands can come to the thighs or the stomach, wherever it feels comfortable. Relaxing through the shoulders, allowing the eyes to start to close if they weren't already. And feeling the body begin to kind of let go, surrender. Whatever it was you were holding on to, becoming a little heavier, almost like you're melting into your mat. If this shape feels good and you want to end your practice right here, you are more than welcome to. If there's any other stretches or poses or anything you feel like you still need before you can end your practice, go ahead and offer those now so that when you come into Shavasana, you feel really comfortable and really relaxed. And then beginning to make your way into that Shavasana, whatever that looks like for you. If that means extending the legs long, maybe coming onto your side or sitting up. So as you find your way into your Shavasana, start to take up as much space as you need. Maybe that means extending the arms wide, extending the legs wide. Allowing the body to be fully supported by the earth as you settle into this space. And just let go as you stay here in your Shavasana. you invite little movements into the fingers and the toes, stretching in a way that feels good for you, maybe reaching the arms overhead or bending the knees. If it feels good for you, you can turn over onto one side, coming into a fetal position. If you prefer to stay on your back, that's fine too. Taking these last few moments here on your mat to acknowledge the practice that you just offered and to say thank you to yourself for pressing pause in the middle of your day, coming to your mat, taking this hour to do something that's so good for you, no matter what's going on in your life right now. Saying thank you to yourself for still making yourself and your practice a priority. Whenever you're ready, you can slowly start to make your way back up to a seated position, gently lifting yourself up, keeping the eyes closed as you bring your hands to heart center. I'm so grateful for all of you for joining me tonight. That light that's in me sees and honors that same light that's inside of each and every one of you. I hope you have the most beautiful night and a great week ahead. See you all again soon. Namaste. Thank you, guys.